What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded Lost Souls. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we set up our basic applied energistics system. That's right. We are now digitally storing pretty much all the items around here. We do have other items over here in these compacting drawers, which our applied energistics system can talk to. So all these items over here, we can definitely see, like we need some redstone or whatever. We have all of the redstone blocks or the redstone dust available, which is really, really nice. Using the storage drawers in combination with applied energistics makes a lot of things very, very easy, so you don't have to make crafting patterns to turn ingots into nuggets or nuggets back into ingots or blocks or whatever. Yeah, I really like it a lot. Okay, so today, I think what we're going to do is we're going to work on another section of the quest book. Under the extra additions, I kind of feel like we need to start getting a little bit into this mod here, which I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head for some reason. Atomic Reconstructor. Actually, additions. Yes, I think we should get into this. I was kind of looking at things that we're going to need in the future, and it looks like soul sand is something that we need. Soul sand. So if we look at the uses for soul sand and we go over to the sieve, we can see that if we sift it with a diamond stiffened mesh, we can get ourselves graphite dust. And this appears to be about the only way that we can do it. Either compressed soul sand or regular soul sand. But yes, either way, we need soul sand to get the graphite dust. Graphite dust is going to be useful for us in the future for us to upgrade our power beyond using lava. And while the lava power that we're using right now is decent and it's getting us by, we still aren't making enough to run our quarry at full blast, which means we aren't making enough to run everything in our base and the quarry. We could keep spamming these dynamos, right? We could keep adding in more lava. We could keep doing all these things, but that's just going to take up a lot of space. We're just going to move on to extreme reactors at some point in the future and consolidate all that stuff and make life a lot easier. So in order to do that, we are going to need the atomic reconstructor, which means we need to start down this path. So it says the iron casing is needed for crafting most actually addition machines. So let's take a look. Iron casing. We have not crafted one of these yet in this playthrough. That does require 2 unstable ingots, 2 iron plates, chopping block, 4 of those, and a block of black quartz. So we talked about that a little bit ago. We've been getting the black quartz from our quarry, and I put all the black quartz that we got at that time through our pulverizer over here. So now we have all this. So that one block of black quartz we made last episode is like, oops, I guess we can't convert back. Yeah, now we can use it. So chopping block. So I haven't done this yet. I haven't actually looked into this, so I don't really know. That looks really easy. Soap and bloody chopping blocks gives you 4 of those in a cauldron, or with a soul forged steel anvil, it looks like 6 stone gives us 6 chopping blocks. Well, that sounds really easy. A lot easier than I was thinking at first there. So first things first, let's go get ourselves 6 pieces of stone. We haven't used the soul forged steel anvil since we left the nether. It's been a while, actually. Stone. Yeah, so we need 6 pieces. And then we need to set up our soul forged steel anvil, which I think should be in here. Yeah. All right. Where to place this guy? I don't really know. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just stick it right here. Sure, let's do it. Okay, so we'll do one of these numbers, and there we go. There is 6 chopping blocks. Very good. All right, so we got most of this stuff done. We need 2 iron plates, which is just the immersive engineering hammer until we make our compressor machine from thermal expansion, and some iron. So there is 2 iron. If you don't know, in applied energistics, if you're on the terminal, if you hold shift and you press right click, you take 1 item. If you just right click, you take half a stack. If you left click, you take a full stack. So we need 2 iron ingots, and then we need the hammer from immersive engineering. Okay, so there we go. I guess I could have crafted it in here too. Either way, so there's that. We do have the stable, unstable ingot we got as a reward. So we just have to make 1 more of these. Now, I don't remember. We had to make the nuggets, which was... So iron nugget, stick, and industrial diamond, or I guess some diamonds. So iron, whoop, wasn't clicked on here. Iron nugget. plus a stick. We don't have any sticks in here. You know what? Let's solve that real quick. What we could do, which would make life pretty easy over here, we could hook up storage buses to each one of these chests, so all the items that these trees are making always shows up in our storage. Or we could take some pipes or something and pipe out of these chests and put it all into storage drawers and have a storage drawer controller and connect that up to a storage bus, which would also be quite nice as well. I'm really not sure the best way to do that, but I'll just go ahead and take some of the sticks that we have here and just throw it into the system. We have extra space. And that'll solve the problem for now. Okay, and then we need a diamond. We have 116 of those. Okay, so we need 9 of these guys. And I do believe in order to do this, we have to put that through the cauldron? No, crucible. So a stoked crucible in order to convert that. And I can never remember, is this a cauldron or the crucible? That is a cauldron, so we need the crucible. I'll break that guy. And place this one here. Probably should figure out a better way to do this or set up a second one so I don't have to keep breaking fences to get that thing. I guess we could also set up like a vacuum hopper or an item collector to grab that if I ever want to swap them. Alright, so there is the crucible. We need to turn on our better with mods stuff. I've turned that off before because every once in a while I'll come through here and all the gearboxes are just making sound non-stop. It's one of those things where you have to like log out or restart the mod pack and start back up in order to fix it. Either way, it's just annoying. So we'll turn on our hibachis. We will turn on the thing to stoke the fire, and we will place those in there to get ourselves another one of these stable, unstable ingots. I'm pretty sure even though this says it requires unstable ingots, the stable, unstable ones will work. Pretty sure. I guess we'll find out here very shortly. Oh no, that's just a unstable ingot. Okay, so let's craft that over here then. Huh. I thought that was turning into the other ones. Alright, so we'll do those guys, this one, the iron plates, this. And then again, since we're crafting it over here and we're using the crafting station right next to the crucible, we have this inventory. So we're never taking this item, putting it in our inventory, which will start the countdown. So we can take all the time in the world to craft, and this thing will never explode. But yeah, let's just go ahead and make our iron casing. Okay, so quest complete, iron casing, very good. Let's go ahead and turn this thing off. I really don't know how many of these iron casings we're gonna need in the future. It might be an idea that we want to make a few of them, but for now, we will just go with the one that it says that we need to make. So that's gonna give us a loot chest. Okay, so very good. We are getting other things here. So the next quest, yeah, Empowerer as well. Next quest is the Atomic Reconstructor. It says the Atomic Reconstructor is used to craft crystals, which are the main crafting ingredient in most items from actually additions. Okay, so Atomic Reconstructor. This requires us to have some plates, the iron casing, and some iron ingots. Okay, well, we can do that. Once again, we need the hammer. One of these guys, plus some Constantan. Have a few of those. So there's 4 of those guys, and then we should be good to go. Cool. All right, so there is our Atomic Reconstructor, Stuffy Exchanger, Quarkle Recombiner, Material Modulator. Okay, so there it is. Quest complete. All right, let's claim this. So now that that's done, wow, we got a bunch more things available and shown here. Okay. What next? I guess the Empowerer would probably make the most sense. I'm not sure if we need the Empowerer just yet, but that's probably going to be the next thing we're going to want to make. So the Empowerer is one item that we need. Then we also need 4 display stands, if I remember correctly. Well, 5, because one usually goes into this thing, into this one. Yeah, so we're going to need 5 display stands, 1 for this recipe, so we need 2 more iron casings, and then we need these guys. Okay, so the display stand requires an advanced coil, which is gold nuggets around a basic coil, which is filament and copper, and the filament is made in the cauldron with glowstone, redstone, and string. Okay, so how many of these are we going to need? I guess we're going to need 5. So 5 times 4, we need 20 filaments, so we need 20 glowstone, redstone, and string. I guess we can grab it over here. Glowstone, redstone, and string. Uh-oh. Our string supply is not looking very good, although we should have a lot of cotton that we made previously that could do that for us, that we can convert back into string, I guess I should say. It'll do it for us, guys. It's just going to do it for us. Let's go back here real quick. Filament cauldron, which is the other one, not the crucible. So let's do the cauldron. Okay, cauldron here. Put those guys right like that, and we don't need to stoke it, I don't think. So that should be all we have to do. Now it's just a waiting game where we just have to wait for 20 of these recipes to complete. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in the meantime, while we're waiting for that to happen, because that is, in fact, going to take a minute, we have the copper done, we have the gold already. So we need the aesthetic green blocks and aesthetic quartz. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it aesthetic? I don't know. So anyway, the atomic reconstructor 10 CF, which I'm pretty sure is the same thing as RF. I'm not sure what the C stands for. So we need chiseled quartz block turns into one of those, and the other one is block of quartz, same price. Okay, so let's look at setting up the atomic reconstructor. We're also gonna need like a button or a pressure plate or some kind of redstone source to turn this thing on. And then we're also gonna wanna get ourselves a redstone torch. So let's make one of those real quick. Redstone torch, and then we need like a button. Stone is fine. Okay, so now we have those guys set up. We gotta figure out where we're gonna put this thing. And I don't really know where we're gonna put our display stands and our empowerer. We might set up another room, like one of these rooms back here. Like, we're not using this room for much. That's just our warp over to the astral sorcery area. Maybe we could stick in like one of these sections or something. Anyway, we'll figure that out when we get there. But for now, we will go ahead and just snatch some power. I guess I'll put that here. We're gonna need one more leadstone conduit so we can get some power into that machine. Yeah, and then we can just throw a button on there, and every time we want to convert something, we throw it in front of it, and then press the button. So leadstone. I think we just need one, right? Hopefully. I don't like having to run back and forth many times. Hopefully that's gonna be enough. Let's take a look. Okay, leadstone there. This thing is getting power. Very good. Okay, so it says no lens, a redstone mode deactivation. Hold a redstone torch to toggle. So that's why we need this. So we got to right click on that. Now it's going to be set to pull. So this thing will only do something when it gets a redstone signal, which is why we have the button. So when we press the button, it fires a laser. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now we need to convert. Well, I guess we can just show this real quick. If we go into this guy, I believe it was 20,000 RF for one piece of sand to convert into soul sand, but it is a way for us to make soul sand. So there's that. If I press the button, you can see some of it converted, some of it did not, and it used a bunch of power here, which is refilling now. Yeah. So this will be one of those things that's going to take a while, but we can probably set up some kind of automation for this and have it auto collected and that kind of stuff in order for us to make this pretty easily. I think, I don't know, do we have witch water in this mod pack? Can we do witch water to convert sand into this? We might. I'll have to look into that. The last time we tried doing something along those lines, what was that? Trying to make obsidian in a stone barrel with water on top. That didn't work, so maybe witch water has been disabled, or you can't make soul sand this way. If we go to uses, I'm sorry, we need to go to recipes on this thing. I don't recall seeing fluid block transform. Ah, there actually is another way to do this. It says we can do it this way, so maybe we should look at making witch water. That might be a thing. What about, okay, if we're gonna make witch water, let's just hypothetically think about this. We're gonna need a way to create, what is it, the mycelium? I think it was called spore. Isn't that what the item is that you get? Infestation spore, nether growth spore, ancient spores. This is it. So you can get ancient spores from sifting dirt, it looks like. And when you click this onto... Yeah, when you click this on a dirt, it turns it into mycelium. So we could do witch water as well, which might be easier. I'll have to think about that. But either way, we needed the atomic reconstructor for us to proceed with actually additions, which is part of our quest line. So it's not like we made that for no particular reason. We still need it for other things here. All right, guys. So I decided it was probably about time that we look at getting some of those ancient spores. We never got that before. We never had a lot of dirt previously when we were sifting in order to waste at trying to get this kind of stuff. So yeah, I just made a bunch of string meshes here. We did have a lot of cotton saved up from our, was it the garden cloche? I think this thing is probably growing again. Yeah, we had this thing already growing previously and made a whole lot of cotton for us. So 3 cotton in the crafting grid makes you 2 string. So I went ahead and I put in 3 stacks in there and made 2 stacks of string. So now we got a lot of stuff. So I just got, it looks like 5 ancient spores, which is good, and a whole bunch, a lot of other stuff here. So yeah, I got to figure out the inventory situation. Actually, probably a lot of this is these stone pebbles and andesite stuff, things that we don't need. I'll just go ahead and file those over here and collect the other things that might be a little bit more important. All right, what else did we get here? Lots of different things. I think we got a bunch more pebbles. Diorite ones, all right. Man, there's so much stuff. Probably don't really need any of these other things, do I? Andesite pebble, granite pebble, diorite. That looks like a pebble, and we've had some seeds and pebbles. I think the seeds are good. We were running low on the wheat seeds. We have a whole lot of those now. Definitely don't need that many. Okay, so yeah, I went through 2 stacks of dirt. We ended up with 5 ancient spores. We got some sugarcane seeds, which I think we needed earlier on. Grass seeds, carrot seeds. Okay, so we got a lot of good stuff over here. So yeah, now that we have those, we should be able to put down a patch. I think we'll do it over here since we have water. We should be able to put down a patch of dirt and turn that into... yeah, turn that into mycelium. I don't know how we're going to lay this out. Maybe we'll do like... maybe something like that, and we'll put a wooden barrel in the center. The more mycelium you have around, the faster it transforms into witch water, from what I understand. But I don't know what the maximum size is, or like if you add more, like how much more it speeds it up. So I don't know if that's something that we need to worry about or not. But let's try clicking one of these on here. Oh yeah, okay, so now we have mycelium for sure. And then we can grab a watering can, which I don't have on me, and spread that a lot faster. Okay, so while we are letting that... All right, I guess we should come over here and empty out my inventory. We're still kind of waiting on those filaments to be made at the moment. So yeah, we can do this while we're waiting on that. So I have some extra string meshes that didn't quite fit in there. So let's grab a barrel. Okay, I still don't know if this converts into witch water or not, so that's another thing we're going to be testing. And then we need watering can, grab this one. And finally, we are going to need nothing else. We have sand on us, and we can grab water from over there. I was like, what else do we need? Yeah, if this does work, we can set up like massive witch water to be made and stored. And then when we need soul sand, we can set up an automation for that. But let's check this out first of all. So water can this, spread this stuff all around. All right, so now we need our wooden barrel here. And then let's see if we put water into that. That is in fact transforming. Okay, so maybe putting more dirt around would be a good idea. Let's try this. Let's try making this like a 5x5 instead of a 3x3. So currently it's going decently fast. I don't know how much faster this is gonna go, if it goes faster at all with this little bit extra. Oh, that is going a lot faster, isn't it? Okay, so 5x5 works. Maybe a 7x7 would be better. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if that has any effect on it. Okay, well, we have witch water now. So the other thing is, if we put sand in there, does that make soul sand? And if so, I'm trying to shift right click on this. It's not letting me. Can I get access to my items? There we go. One of these. in there. Yeah, okay, so that definitely does make soul sand this way. So that's another option. We can just pipe water into here, let it transform into witch water, and then have like a hopper pushing sand in, and then a pipe extracting it out, right? So that's another option that we have. Which way is faster? I don't know. This way doesn't cost any power, so I guess this is probably the better way. And we get mushrooms for our efforts too, which is kind of cool at the same time. So we have a mushroom farm. We can set up like a harvester over there to collect them if we need thousands of mushrooms. So it's just another option. Let's go check out our filament over here. This should be ready, hopefully. Yeah, those are all done now. Very good. We are going to have to do a little bit more crucible crafting or cauldron crafting over there very shortly. Yeah, let's put all this stuff away. Okay, so display stand required these things here. So let's make as many of those as we can. So there's 5 of those, and then we need to make the gold versions. And there's those. All right, so we have those things all made now. So now we have to worry about making the quartz thing. So chiseled quartz comes from... Okay, so I guess we have to use the chisel from Primal Core, or we have to use the actual chisel. The default vanilla recipe has been removed, I guess? I don't know. That's pretty odd, isn't it? So how many of those do we need? We need, I guess, 15 of both. Okay, so we need 30 quartz total. 15 of both types. I have a chisel somewhere, and I don't remember if I put it in the bag or what I did with it. Here it is. Okay. So I chisel this. We will do... Is it this stuff? I think it might be this one. Chisel. Okay, so now we have the regular and we have the chiseled quartz. At this point, we just have to throw them in front of the lasers, and it should change colors, I do think. Hopefully we have enough power to do these and we won't have to do it multiple times. Oh yeah, that's right. It was only 10 RF or whatever CF each, whatever a CF is, I still don't know. And that one. Okay, so there's our 2 different types of blocks. Awesome. So that was pretty painless, very easy to do. And then we should be able to turn those into our display stands. And after that, we should be able to work on making the empowerer. All right, so there is... Oh yeah, I gotta put these in there too. Let's shift click that one more time and put those in the system. There is 5 display stands, very easy. Now we need to make the empowerer. So that comes from a redstonia crystal, which is 1 piece of redstone put in front of the laser, 40 RF, easy. We have to make a double battery. That's going to require nori crystals, which is iron, put in front of the laser at 80 RF, easy. What else do we have here? Oh, we have to make another advanced coil and a single battery, which is more advanced coils, more of these things. Okay, iron casing. So I have to do 4 of these unstable ingots. I don't know if we have enough diamonds for that. That's going to require 36 of them, and we already have the display stand. I'm going to start working on this crafting stuff. This will take a minute, and we'll be right back, guys. Okay, so a lot of that crafting is now done, and we have everything ready to go to make ourselves an empowerer. Well, let's go ahead and do that. I made a bunch more of these redstonia crystals. I did, I think, 8 blocks worth of that stuff, and I also did the Inori 8 blocks of that as well. So we have a bunch of those extra. Yeah, very simple. You can do blocks instead of like the single ingots or redstone dust at a time, which just saves time, I suppose. But anyway, we now have ourselves the empower and the 4 display stands, and that completes our quest here. So let's go ahead and claim another loot chest. Very good. So it doesn't look like... I don't think anything else new appeared here, but yeah, these empowered crystals, sometimes in mod packs, these take hundreds of thousands of RF to craft each, and it's a very, very long process. So hopefully we don't have to make a lot of these, and hopefully it's not like stupidly overpowered. It doesn't take a lot of power to craft those. I don't know the proper way to say that. So let's do redstone. Let's take a look. Does it even show in here what the price is? No, doesn't say. Okay, so you have to put a redstone crystal on the center one. That's what you're empowering, and then the display stands hold these different items around it, and then you provide the display stands power. They shoot beams at the middle one, and then you get the resulting item. So the redstonia, you should be able to do either the single one or the block, and I think it's cheaper to do the block. It does require more power, but the items that surround it, you don't have to use 9 times. You only do the 1 time to get the block to be empowered, and then you can use the block to turn into 9 of the crystals. So anyway, doing the blocks is always cheaper if these materials are a little bit more expensive, or if you have extra power or whatever. Yeah, that's the way we're going to end up doing these. So I think we're going to go ahead and set this thing up. We don't have enough power right now. Leadstone, we might have enough cables. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, that might be enough. So we got to figure out where we're going to put this display stand. I think, like I said, probably over here in this room, which we aren't really using. I still got to clean up the walls and the ceiling in these top 3 rooms. By top, I mean the west side. I always think of that as like the front of the base, and this is the back or the top. I don't know why. Anyway, so the center block, that should be right here. Okay, so that is where we are going to place our empowerer, right in the center. So I'll place that there. We'll do an empowerer here. I also have to dig out underneath this thing. Oof, forgot about that. Okay, so I think these have to be placed 2 blocks away. Think something like this and like that. Okay, so each one of the display stands, like I said, does require power. CF, crystal flux. It says in the lower left-hand corner. That's what that stood for. So yeah, each one of these has to be empowered. They all have to have the items on there, and then you have to put the crafting item that you're empowering in the center, and they shoot the beams over. Okay, well, I guess the first thing I need to do is dig out underneath those, run the wires to them. I'm gonna dig down 2 blocks around this thing, run the wires to these things, and then we need to get ourselves power over here. I think we can just kind of tap off our line that's coming right through here, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But again, I don't know if we're gonna have enough power cables for that, so let me just go ahead and do this real quick, and we'll be back. All right, so we got all the power hooked up. We have our display stands charged up, and I ended up, instead of going around like I was digging before, I just put the power lines in a cross pattern underneath here. I think that saves a little bit, and we are just connecting through the wall down there to our generators. Okay, so these things all have power. They're completely full. I was going to make myself an empowered redstonia crystal block, and I was looking at the uses for this, and I was looking at the uses for the redstonia crystal. So the block really doesn't have any uses. We can turn it into the crystals or facades if you want to. The redstonia crystal, I was looking at the uses for this, and there's not a lot of uses. There are some things that we could make. I'm not sure if we're going to want any of these items. Yeah, not a lot of craziness. Other mod packs that I've played that has the actually additions and power and stuff in it make a lot of use out of these items, and you have to set up crazy automations for all these things, but it doesn't look like that's the case in this particular pack. So instead of doing a full block, which will take 9 times longer, we're just going to do 1. All right, so we need a brick, another brick, we need a redstone dust, and then a red dye. Yeah, that's all we have to do, and that is very quick. Okay, so it doesn't cost a lot of power to empower one of those. So that would not have taken very long to do the redstonia. Now, it's also looking at the other empowered blocks here. So like the lapis one doesn't really have any uses by itself, and then we can use this to turn into greenhouse glass, which might be useful if we want to set up a lot of farms, but we have the garden cloches, so there's really not a lot of reason for that. The diamond ones, the block itself is used for making a spawner changer, which could be really useful later on, making specific high efficiency mob spawners with like draconic evolution or whatever. Or I guess no, that wouldn't be draconic evolution. Would be extra utilities. That would be a thing. We can make wings of the bat, which I think is like a creative flight thing, but we need the ender star. Experience solidifier might be a good item. That'll take experience from a mob farm, put in these solidified things, and we can store those as items and then use them later to get XP. Definitely a thing we could do. Item repairer is a good item too. We could use that. That does use RF, and it repairs like your armor or other things that have durability on them, like our hang glider, for instance. So that might be something worth looking at. I don't know, but I was kind of going through all these different items here, and I wasn't really seeing anything that stood out that says, hey, we need to set up crazy automations for this. So this is probably going to be a manual thing. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be setting up anything super fancy for our empowerer here. Okay, so we have 4 loot chests that we have collected today. I think it is about time that we start popping these things. Let's get closer to our storage system in case we have to put items away. All right, so let's see. What do we get? 12 diamonds, Okay, that's not bad. Not great. I mean, we can get diamonds all day long with our quarry outside. Fertilizer potion, don't think we're going to be using that too much. Experience chunk, okay, so we could use those in order to get ourselves XP crops. We haven't really done anything with mystical agriculture yet. We really need to get the prosperity shards in order to do anything, which comes from prosperity ore. Yeah, we haven't gotten any of those yet, so mystical crops will be, or mystical agriculture will be a thing we look at sometime in the future, and some cobblestone, so nothing too great for my rewards. Yeah, I'm just going through all of these different things in here that we don't need. And yeah, I did not have enough power cables. I did have to end up making a few extras of those. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. We got some decent stuff going on. Pretty happy with the actual additions. That is not going to be super crazy in order to get these things going. Yeah, like I said, other mod packs I've played takes like 10 minutes to craft one of those items. With this things, like they change the power requirements, and it's just a real large time sink. Glad it's not like that in this one. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.